a pilot.
We're on air right now.
We're in a pilot. Hello. Hello, everyone in YouTube land.
This is NightWolf.
This is Mike.
Mike Hunt.
One hit wonder. Mike Hunt. Yes. Mike Cal. It works on so many levels.
So what this really is a bike breakdown for the game Ride. The whole point of this video is to demonstrate the point that the beginner bikes, they only give you 3 in the opening. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but you have the Duck, the Triple Speed, and I forget what the other one was. Do you remember what that one was, Mike?
I wish I could start all over again, but no, not right off the top of my head.
But anyhow, there are bikes in tiers above that beginner bike that are actually worse than the Ducati. And for anyone who's played the game, they should know that the Ducati that starts out with your 3 basic choices looks like it's the best bike, but it really is probably the worst bike. So because it's the lowest tier, lowest performer, we consider it to be a good foundation for creating a test bike. So we compare and contrast it against other bikes. Now, in all fairness to that bike, to make it competible, it is fully upgraded, but so are the other bikes. So it shouldn't really be an issue. And if something like a GSXR 600 went up against the Duck and had a worse lap time than its stock, that should raise, especially since it's such a way higher tier, that should really raise some suspicions as far as why am I racing this bike?
Pretty much have to, yeah, or you're blind. You need a stick, something you can't see, because the GSXR should unequivocally beat the Duck.
And that brings us to our next point. That's why we're testing them. We've already done some testing for you, so you don't have to. Save your ride bucks. Buy stuff you want that you know will perform well.
Let me spend the ride bucks. I'm good.
Well, should we get it on? We'll do a we will nominate our first Duck Award, the Duke 690R. Uh-oh, did I lose Mike? I think I lost Mike.
I'm sorry, I had to dispute.
Oh, that's
a computer fight at my house. Thank God for the mute button.
Okay, all right. So here we go. So he'll talk. I'm going to let him talk about the bike he's on. You hopefully are familiar with the Duck. It's, like I said, the entry-level one. We're going to do all of our testing with Pro Physics enabled. That's our preference. You might prefer the standard or whatever. We feel we have better control over the bikes with Pro Physics than joint braking and all that other stuff. So, uh-oh. What'd you pick the first one for, you goofball?
I'm a goofball. Also, traction control. We rarely use it.
It's turned quite
just
a bit
like the
down.
realism. We're into realism. So your mileage may vary. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are a lot better at this than we are. We're just sharing our thoughts and views.
Taste is subjective.
Yes, we really enjoy this game. Have maybe a few suggestions for the developers. I hope they listen. But first, if you pick a friend as a teammate, friend, if he's online, he should be able to race with you. That would be a lot of fun in my book.
In your in-game races that ask for you to pick a teammate, it'll show you that you have a friend to pick, and you can pick them, but it doesn't actually invite them to race with you on that race. Which, let's face it, if you want them to race with you, you want their ability to shine through. So what is a better way to have their ability shine through than to actually have them race on the same track as you? I don't think that really would be a really big issue, considering the fact that you can already do online races with, like, what is it, 12 to 15 players with AI on the track? So it shouldn't be an issue for one actual live player to join you in your game. So I don't really see what the complication would be there. Our bike settings we're not messing with the suspension. We're leaving it stock, and we're also leaving the gearing stock to make it an equal playing field, and then you don't have to question whether or not we're changing the gears or not.
Nope. Just fully upgraded. Just whatever we can buy. But we have tuned nothing.
And in fairness, tuning can make a difference, but really, I don't feel that it's significant enough to make a big difference. You can detune a bike too low, like if you set the gearing, the final gear ratio to 1, and then you set each gear to 1, you will definitely hit the top of 6th gear really fast on a straightaway. So now that we're actually moving down the track, we'll let Mike talk about the Duck and why I'm sorry, the Ducati, the KTM. He's on the KTM 690R.
I can talk about the Ducati. It's a very beautiful bike. I'm not ever gonna say any of these bikes are not something wonderful to look at
or ride.
Yes, you give me any one of these, although I would be a little hard pressed to ride them due to height constrictions. But anyways, I'm riding the KTM 690R. There is a 690 in this group, but it's pretty much the lesser of the two.
So basically, there's two versions of the same bike. One is the R, and one is not. One has a little better performance. The other one does not.
Yeah, and the triple speed is the same. It has an R version and a non-R version, and it's really to save your money. Unless you're a collector like me.
It's a trend you'll see throughout the game, though. Like with you'll have like the Gixxer 1000R, and then you'll have the 1000R race bike, which is a different class in reality, but it is the same bike. So, fundamentally,
definitely a different animal, though.
So, I am on the Duck, which is a Tier 1 first rider race bike in the game. It's the first, one of the first 3 bike options you get. And the point of this, what we're getting at here is, if you notice, while he's not significantly behind me yet, this is only a 3-lap race. And neither one of us is pushing really hard. We're just trying to make it around the track and keep the tires on the right way down. But if you watch this on the straightaway, what was that you were saying about this again? I'll let you talk about it. It's your domination.
This is, you'll notice in a lot of these races, you'll pick a bike and you'll really be in love with the stats, and you'll get out to the track, and this KTM for me was probably one of the biggest disappointments in the game. I get out to the track, I do okay in the turns, I'm doing fine, and then as you can see when we hit the straightaway, it just doesn't compare.
He's pretty much right behind me right now. Not exactly right behind me, but I'll cut to a back view so you guys can watch this. Look at him. He's way back there now.
Well, now I'm falling back because the
he's turning into a little dot. He's turning into a little dot back there. See that? He's gone. Yeah. Mike doesn't exist in the game anymore. He's gone.
I'll definitely preface this with, I enjoy every one of these motorcycles as far as
being able to
just playing the game and running times. I'm pretty much a stat nerd when it comes to running these things.
But that brings us
anything.
Oh, I forgot. So the whole point, right, of this Duck Award is to point out that there are, in the same class even, bikes that way outperform the other bikes. And we're not saying that in real life that doesn't matter. There are definitely bikes in the same class in the real world that, look, he's close, now he's going way away, he's getting real tiny, and that's not his exit speed or anything like that. If we ride the same bike, we're pretty much neck and neck. So that's not why he's way back there.
We're a very well matched set for on the same bike. It's who's going to mess up first usually.
So, but anyhow, the Duck Award, there are bikes that are just not proportionately correct, and like I said, in the real world that exists. However, that's the whole point of them, you know, tracks setting certain specifications and other things to make the race more competitive and in the interest of fairness. That's, for example, MotoGP is currently going to, for the 2016 year, they are requiring every bike to have a ECU, electronic computer unit, or whatever you want to call it, the brain of the bike, to be the same on all the manufacturers so that nobody gets an advantage with the electronics. So, in that same respect, that KTM being in a higher class, I believe it's a stronger motor, is it not?
Because the Duck
is 6.
This one belongs.
The Duck is a
This
6.
one belongs in this class. It's 700 under naked. It's in this class.
Okay, so it's in the class, but it got a mud hole stomped in its butt right there.
It wasn't beautiful, no.
So my Duck is fully upgraded, but so is that Duke.
Mm-hmm.
So they should be competitive if they're in the same class, and they're totally not.
But which brings us to another point with the options with very easy.
So, what else do you think
with the very easy and easy? Yeah, I was talking about the easy and very easy option. Very easy, I feel, and I think you feel too. If you're racing a stock AI track, you should be able to, with minimal talent, you should be able to win that race with any bike.
In the interest of fairness, we continually will be running the same track. That way, you don't have to question about regularities or irregularities of different tracks or different aspects of the tracks. This is not the greatest oval track, but it has a nice long straightaway. It's got twisty turns to compare how certain bikes corner. So it's a good starting block anyway.
Consistency wise, I think it's a very good track. We can easily run the same lap times very close.
You want to hop on the Duck, and I'll run the Tuno, which is in a classic heavyweight naked bike, so it should be a tier above. It should be faster than the Duck. And we're not saying that it's incredibly slower than the Duck. However, it really should outshine the Duck by more than what it does, and you'll see what the time difference really is here.
Yeah, you'll get to start picking bikes, and in the beginning you think, well, the Duck, it's the better of the three, and you find out it's not. And our experience has been, it's usually the one with the most horsepower in whatever class is usually the
winner. Yeah, there are exceptions to that rule, depending on rider style, is what I'll say. So, what is that? The MT. The Yamaha MT-09, is that the one I run on?
MT-09, yeah, your personal favorite, yes.
That bike is stupid quick on this course, and that may be just because its stock setup is perfect for this track. I don't know.
It's ridiculous what times come out of that bike.
It stomps. We ran it on other courses, on other tracks too, not just this one. But what was that, the Revel it was up against? Was that the one?
Yes.
The top speed was just ludicrous speed. And it was like, wow, that Revel is a bigger motor. It should totally outclass this bike, which is really to be honest with you folks, is why we wanted to broadcast a review of the bikes in the game. So this is a classic heavyweight bike. Different classes have different characteristics, which is a good thing. Variety is good in the game. We like all the variety they put into the game with the different tracks and different bikes and different classes of bikes and being able to tune bikes. I wish they had the mechanic like in MotoGP 14. That was really a nice thing in MotoGP 14, and I think it would really help because I think this game is definitely directed at your
some people need a little
entry
help.
racers of motorcycle games, which is a small genre to begin with. But this is a pretty fun game, and you know, PlayStation had a flash sale on it for $10. $60 game, $10.
Yeah, I was all over it.
We're kind of budget gamers that way, and we said, yeah, we did the demo. We both liked the demo, but both of us agreed we didn't want to spend $60 on the game. So
No.
and so I woke up Mike at 11 o'clock. Was it 11 o'clock there? 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I was ready for bed. Yep.
I said, dude, it's $10. He goes, you better not be screwing with me. I'm going to be fucking pissed. And he got up. He's like, oh, it is on sale. So he bought it. I bought it. Now we're bringing it to you.
Yeah.
So it's a good game.
It's $10. Yep. Every
penny.
$10.
Every penny. We haven't put this game down for over a week now. So we've been playing
Easily, yes.
We've been playing it.
Walking mad time.
So, and we've been keeping track times on them. It's not like we just pick bikes at random here. We've ran hot laps on it, on all of them, and tried to get the most out of the bike we can, running different lines. Ooh, I went a little wide. Heavies tend to do that, FYI. They tend to run wide. You really got to watch your entry speed with the heavies.
That bike there is best in class, by the way, the one he's riding. In that heavy classic
heavy
genre, there's I think 3 to 4 bikes in that class, and that I found that to be the best in class, oddly enough.
But here's you'll see coming up here the sadness that we're talking about. Now, obviously, you start getting up into your super sport bikes, the leader bikes, as they're affectionately known in the motorcycling community, like the GSXRs 1000 or the Yamaha R1 or the KTM RC8. You start looking at these bikes. Yes, on the track they are quicker, they run faster lap times, which is nice because that's realistic, but this bike should probably be faster than it is. He's not that far behind me. I mean, considering this is in a different class.
You definitely have it in the top end, actually a little more so than the last one we ran.
Oh yeah, I'm doing better on this one. It seems to have a better top end than you do.
Yeah, a lot better.
But here's the thing,
better.
Because of those unique bike characteristics, the lap time is definitely affected. So you can't see him yet, but he's behind me, not very far. 5-second lead. That's what I got. A 5-second lead.
I definitely am cornering better than him.
Oh,
I'm sure.
push too hard.
Straightaways kill me.
Yep. Here's where I'll pull away again.
So sometimes it's just a situational thing. What track are you running? You know what? How tight is it?
So it's a
what are the turns like?
6-second lead. Yeah. So we already have one duck award, which is the KTM 690R Duke.
Big duck.
Big
it's
duck.
A big duck. A flightless duck.
We have more ducks.
Oh my! We're gonna bring the duck that laid a golden egg. It's probably the worst of all of the disappointments in all the classes.
You have that bike downloaded?
I do not have that bike. You had that bike. I don't know if you still have.
I unloaded that bike.
Tesla?
I was so yes.
You unloaded the Tesla. So disappointed.
Why don't we just talk about the Tesla while we set something else up here to be interesting?
Yeah. I was at the position where I could have bought that bike before NightWolf, and I looked at it, went through the stats, went up and down through that bike row of 900 and is that heavy naked bikes, and I went up and down and I could not figure out why that thing is $37,000.
We figured
And
there had
why
to
I
be
would buy
some
it.
kind of advantage to it, and I had more dollars saved because I'm more frugal. So I had money to
A lot
burn,
more frugal.
and we decided
I like bikes.
to put that one
Mike
up on
likes
a
bikes.
on a duck award. And well, here I'll
That's
compare
probably the
I'll
good
compare
thing.
that Aprilia to another bike in its I'll say in a heavyweight class. So we'll do the DB9, which is in the same class as that last bike, and you'll be able to see a different track time on it and everything.
What's nice about this is if you have a friend that you want to race with and you're that much better than he is,
Yeah, you can
let him have the
concessions. You can make concessions. And say, hey, look, I know my skill is way beyond yours, so, I'll ride this duck.
I'll run the duck. Yeah, that's what I just said tonight. Well, your skill's way beyond mine. I'll ride the duck anyhow. Oh my. He's gonna really cheese me.
Well, this bike, and on paper, this bike, it's not the greatest bike in the class. It's not. This is probably a middle of the road for a modern bike, a modern heavyweight. It's not
fun.
Yeah, it's not wickedly faster. I'll pull out a bike that I think next is the all-around heavyweight, for me anyway, king of the track. And the only reason being is it's a really well-balanced bike. It's got oh, sorry, I had to focus on that turn. It's got maneuverability. It's got okay power. It's got good handling. But it's not going to walk away from a lot of bikes. It probably wouldn't even walk away from this bike on a straightaway. This bike would probably pass it, which is the Kawi Z1000. But as far as a good bike, it's really good. Now here's where this thing shines. It's just going to blow him out of the water. He's way back there. This thing has way more torque than that last bike. And way more horsepower.
When you start into the racing, your racing career with this bike, this is what you're going to find. Your turning's going to be fine. You're going to like it, but you're going to hit the straightaway, and you're going to have that WTF moment.
You're just going to watch them walk by you, and that includes the AI players. That's not just your buddies online.
Wow. Yeah, that's very easy. You're on very easy, and you're thinking, well. And my main chief complaint about very easy, honestly, very easy to me means my kid could sit down and master this game and be at least in the front of the pack.
You should be able to take you should be able to take the duck and win on very easy without having to do upgrades, provided that you have skill. You should be able to win very easily. But that's not really the case in this game, which I think...
I think as long as you keep the shiny side up, you should win in a very easy match.
That's my point. Yeah. So you should be able to dominate, provided you can keep keep it going down the track in a reasonable... You don't have to even run a perfect line. You should be able to win with a stock setup. Right. You just got to make your overtakes.
Yeah. To me, that's where very easy is. And not that I want to make this game so easy, but if you really want people to play the game, a lot of people don't understand the physics of motorcycles or racing or any of that. A lot of people just want to sit down and enjoy it. And if you get to that,
they wanted more arcadey, but I understand. Well, we like that they didn't make it that way. Don't get us wrong. We like that they didn't make it super arcadey.
It's more arcadey than MotoGP. But to me, that appeals to me. NightWolf's more of a purist, and I'm more of a gamer.
Arcade gameplay style.
Yeah. I honestly, if I could feel the feedback in my wrist of where the bike is, you know, like real life, it would be a completely different story, I think. But it's a game, for God's sakes. I don't need it that realistic.
So
that's my 2 cents. What it's worth.
What was I just saying about that anyway? Oh, yeah. So I like the realism that they have in it, but it shouldn't. Yeah, you don't want to discourage people from playing the game on the first set of races. And you know, yes, we want to strive and do better each race, but somebody might just not have that skill level yet, and they want that. I call it the flashing light effect. So you know how you go to a casino and there's no clocks anywhere, and they got the shiny lights everywhere, and you put a nickel in the slot and you rack it back and you lose, then you put another nickel in the slot and you rack it back and you win, and all these lights go off, and even though you're not a big winner, it made you feel like you were. And that's what we're talking about.
Right.
You don't get that gratification from this game in the beginning. You're kind of left with that was bullshit.
You're left with you better get stinking better or walk away from this.
Or you need to get a different game, yeah. So,
yeah.
And
probably part of why it's not a $60 game, honestly.
Yeah, that's
another gripe of mine is the lack of a lap timer, a stat you can look at the end and see your laps. All you get is the total at the end. You can see your lap as you're doing it,
but it's gone. It flashes. It's a brief flash. It shows you it for a little bit.
If you're a number nerd like me and you're running laps to try to see what's best on the bike and your best line, this game is not very helpful.
Basically, two heavyweights against each other. This one ran 16 seconds faster than the other bike, and yes, it was a classic heavyweight I ran, but you got a penalty, but but still,
I'm allowed to cheat. I have a
this is
bike.
Over 10 seconds faster than that bike. I can pull out another heavyweight, or if you want to pull out a heavyweight.
I don't even think the penalty was a second.
I'll pull out that Cowie, and then I'll run the duck on the next run.
You're gonna give me a break from the duck.
Yeah, I realize
we haven't given out a duck. We haven't given out a duck. We haven't given out a duck since the KTM.
Well, what is the Tessie? We were talking. The Tessie is actually
it's the golden goose
duck bike. What is that duck. Is that in the heavyweight category?
Heavyweight, heavy naked. Yeah.
So it actually finishes behind the Ducati that he's riding, and you can see that the bike that I was just on in the exact same class and is a modern heavyweight was 16 seconds faster than the Duck. So if that bike is slower than the Duck, that's at least a 17 second change. You know what I mean? So here's the Cowie Z1000. I could do the Street Fighter too. I got that one. I'll do the.
There's a Z800. You mega cheater.
I don't have that one.
Man, I have all the bikes in this class. You should be riding the Monster.
Okay. I'll let you do it. Yeah, like I said, you start your comparison next. It looks like we have some kind of message, but I don't know how to interact with folks. So I apologize for that. I'll have to find that out before I do my next series.
Well, I can't compare nothing. I've been riding the same bike.
So how does the Duck compare to the Duck?
It's very forgiving.
Yeah, let's talk about the pros of the Duck.
Yeah, it's a good beginner bike. It really is, except for when you get to the level where everybody's passing you.
So it's
upgraded. Very, very good in the turns. Pretty nimble. Top speed, terrible.
Cornering,
good. Speed, bad.
Entry speed,
corner
entry speed.
Take off in my hands, terrible, but always terrible in my hands. I could have the best bike in the game, and my takeoff is terrible.
Yeah, we don't know why that is.
I don't pin the throttle. I just sit there and flick it.
Oh, I
Probably
pin
a
it.
lot of my problem.
Yes, it is. You're
I'm
getting
looking for that
a
sweet
bad
spot
launch.
that I never get.
So as you can see, this bike is in that same class. This is the Z1000. It handles beautifully. It isn't super powerful, but it definitely goes around the track, and I'm not having to feel like I'm throwing it through the corner, hoping that I don't run wide. I don't imagine
that's
that...
probably the most forgiving in that class.
Yeah, I don't imagine that it's going to run a seriously faster... See, I on the other two heavyweights, if I'd have done that, I'd have been off the track. Oh, come on. Go. But again, I don't think it's going to finish significantly faster than the Duck. We haven't actually ran this as a Duck bike yet, so this is a first.
In the Duck's defense, he is running another class.
Yeah, it's higher. It's a higher class. Yeah, it is. It's 2 classes above it, 2 tiers above. And on the straightaway, exactly what you would think should happen
Expect
with a
from a leader
1000.
bike, yeah.
Yes, happens.
And it's versus 600, or almost a 700, honestly.
Which we're not complaining about that. That makes sense.
And for those of you waiting for us to hand out another Duck, it's a long time coming.
It's on its way. There will be a Duck shortly, as soon as we're done with this.
I'm sure we'll find a Duck.
Yeah, he has got one in mind, don't he? He knows it's a Duck. Don't listen to him.
The Z1000 to me is one of my favorite in the class.
It's very manageable.
It's the all-around. Yeah, it's the all-around winner for me.
Yeah, me too. It does well. It performs well.
The bike I go to if I just want to, just run the class and see how I do.
If you don't know the track and you want something that's a little more forgiving in the turns, where you don't have to know them turn by turn.
Yeah.
You can get away with some stupidity, and it won't make you pay by eating a brick wall. It'll let you push. It'll let you push the acceleration line. See how it flashes just a little bit yellow here and there? It'll let me do that on a lot of the other heavyweights. If you push that line and you over accelerate on a turn, you're going to end up in the wall. You're going to go wide on the track. You're done.
Yeah, the leader bikes, when you get into the more powerful ones, you're not going to get away with accelerating too early in the turn. It will definitely push you out.
It will teach you not to do that.
Yeah. And if you do it under turning load, you will really learn not to do that.
Another pro of the game Ride, I think, is the fact that braking before the turn, just like in real motorcycle racing, is very important. If you enter a turn too fast, the bike can't, just due to the forces involved, they can't make it around that turn.
I'll have to say the game really opened up for me when I went from semi-pro to pro level.
Oh yeah, talk about that, because I didn't do that. I was pro right away.
When you start the game, it's semi-pro as your setting. Your brakes are tied together. So if you apply, they both apply evenly. You really don't get the effect of braking through a corner as well. And there's some trick front brake it, lightly. There's some bikes like the GSXR 750 SRAD. Yeah, the Endomaster, as I like to call it. You really need to learn to use your rear to slow you down some before you apply that front brake.
You got to preload the front brake. You got to preload the suspension so you don't endo when it dips.
So you're not endo, because it really endos. But
Another good
it
point.
definitely made the game a lot more fun when I went to pro.
A different aspect of that same effect. Spikes. The like the Cert or the Ducati team bike or any of those team bikes. If you are running and you are just full out pinned, and you come into a turn with a little hill, guess what happens? You lose your contact patch up front, like on a real bike. And you know what happens when you lose your front wheel's contact patch? No tourney. You find a
No
wall.
turning. I watched
You find a
it
wall.
last night. It was interesting. Wasn't doing it, but
You laughed your ass off.
I did. It was way wally, super wally.
I had it leaned all the way over, and the bike was straight up. There was nothing to do but hit the wall. Oh, hang on, just 1 second.
Anything you want in particular you want me to run this round? Can I change up?
I'm running the duck. You run whatever you want to run.
Oh, okay.
Your nomination, or so to speak.
Okay. What I wanna run in the duck class.
Duck.
All right. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna run the CB. 650.
The Honda.
ABS.
The Honda.
The
650.
Honda. And we'll preface this with we're both Honda guys. We love Hondas.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I seen there was a Repsol in here, I had to have both of them.
I have it. Yeah.
Yeah. And if there's one bike we'd pull for in all of these games, it would be the Honda. But unfortunately, not quite. Most of them are not quite what you think they would be.
No, I'll admit there is some truth that, like the CBR 600R, compared to its rivals, the R6 and the Gixxer, it does have a slower acceleration speed. However, it isn't as noticeable as the game, I think, portrays it to be. I don't think it's 15 seconds difference. I don't think it's...
We have an ongoing theory that the game developers are Yamaha fans.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You guys are cool. We like developers. Please keep making games, Yamaha fans. Just
tone the Yamaha down a little.
Dial back your enthusiasm.
Yamaha enthusiasm.
MT09, perfect example. I got to run that around this track against the duck, just to kind of show. Because what is the class on that thing anyway? That's a heavyweight, isn't it?
09, yeah, but there's an 07, which
but
I
it's a heavyweight under 900, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying there's an MT07, which is in that class, which you don't have, but I do. This is a pretty even match.
Well, it's a 650. This is what is this? A 698? Okay.
696.
So I have 696. I have more go, so I should be walking away from you right now, but I'm not.
No, I have.
But I'm not. But I'm not. But I'm not.
I have more go.
This is my point.
Yeah, and this is why it's a duck. That's why we hand out duck awards, because it's a duck.
Now, even if it comes...
It runs like a duck, quacks like a duck.
Even if it comes out ahead of the duck here, you'll get an idea of why we're saying it is a duck. I know I'm not on it, but you can see him where he's at in front of me right now. He's not blisteringly far away. On the straights,
I might be coming a second.
Yeah, you're about to become a little dot, but on the straights, it's got this bike, but everywhere else, that bike's a letdown, right? In your nomination.
I'm on the fence with this one. Well, I'm gonna call Honda fanboy. I'm gonna call myself out, but I enjoy it. It's predictable. It's a little better top end than the duck, apparently.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
I run these things alone on the track, and you really, some of these comparos that we're doing here, we see for the first time that the Honda has the edge on the straightaways, and that I find that interesting. Wasn't aware.
You wouldn't call it. You wouldn't call it.
No, I'd say they were a match, honestly. From the numbers I run, it was like seconds difference. It wasn't so obvious that this bike. So I might take it off the duck block just because it has some performance qualities that are a little better, a little more shiny than a duck, apparently.
A bit.
Yeah. Actually, I think the one that will take it, though, is the MT-07. It's just a dog. There's nothing nice to say about that one. The 09, on the other hand,
that is a shiny gem. Bike. Shiny gem.
Mm-hmm.
Hidden
shiny
treasure.
Gem in the Yamaha world.
Somebody, we're not saying who because we don't know, but somebody somewhere with the company that made Ride definitely has that bike. That's all we're. And no, we haven't seen it with our own two eyes. We're making some assumptions, but I think it's a safe assumption considering it way outperforms its class. It shouldn't be that much of a bike, and it's a total bike. It's got everything. It does everything.
I would preface it with your mileage may vary. It's still not one of my favorite bikes. I'll admit it. It's fast.
No, I know you don't.
I can't say it's not. But it's just, to my riding style, it doesn't lend itself as well. It really fits NightWolf well. Unfortunately for me.
Unfortunately for him. As in myself. I'm not a big Yami fan. I'm really not.
The only Yamaha I remember as a younger fella that I really, I had to go to the bike store and look at that bike was the VMAX.
Oh yes. That was a bike.
Yeah.
That was nice.
I wasn't old enough to even when it came out. I wasn't even old enough to drive. Dating myself a little. But I just wanted to see that thing. It was just. It was all the talk when it came out. It was the powerful bike, It was
back
the one
when
they
you could
judge
when you could judge a bike based on the CCs on the label.
Mm-hmm.
In today's bike market, you can't do that.
No.
There's 250s. There's 250s today. Honda 250 or the Ninja 300 or Ninja 250, which would outshine some of the 600s back in the day. Maybe not stomp a mud hole in them, but if you brought it to somebody back in 1965 and said, hey, ride this bike, they would laugh at you, and then they'd get on it and go, is this thing got NOS or turbo, or what? Why does this run this fast? It makes no sense.
What's going on here? What's going on here?
Back then, a 250 would top out at like 50 miles an hour. Now it'll do 90. That's insane. All right. You want me to? I'll run that. Well, you got another bike in that class you want to run? You know what I mean? For a duck award.
I have
we,
all the.
We need a duck.
I will run the.
We need a duck.
MT-07. Yes. I'll be surprised if the MT-07 does not make the duck award. It will totally. I haven't run them together. Once again, the numbers are there. They're close. I'm interested to see what could happen here. Once again, not a Yamaha fan.
You fanboy?
They have nice bikes. I can't really knock them. If somebody give me a Yamaha, I'd probably ride it. But on that, if it's my dollars and I'm buying the bike, that's a different.
You're full of crap. You would take the bike, then you would go down to the Honda dealer and get a Honda. You're so full of shit. Come on.
I don't
you
know.
would ride it all the way to the Honda dealership. That's what you would do with that Yamaha.
It's possible. Very, very possible. I don't want to say that.
I'll keep it over the weekend. Just in case Yamaha is listening, you don't want them to know. You don't want to look a free bike in the mouth, huh? We're
No.
gonna give them.
They're stylish. The Yamaha's stylish. It's fine. It's never really appealed to me. That's all. I rode Suzuki's and Hondas, and that's what I like. Just like the Harley guys. And if they want to make a DLC pack with Harleys,
Oh, that would be
that'd be
fun.
hilarious. That'd be hilarious. We'd love it. I would ride every one. I would probably collect them. We would have
Even
a
if
blast
they
with them.
lost everything. Even if they
Oh
lost.
yeah, we don't care. We don't care. I just enjoy riding these things in the game. It's the car games, you get a little bored after a while. There isn't the challenge isn't quite there. Even with the physics all the way up, you don't really get the issues you get with this game. That you really got to pay attention to what you're doing.
Yeah. Hey! I just got.
Not that I don't like car race games. I love car race games. But
I just got a message from Yamaha factory racing team. They want to give you a Yamaha YS250 phaser. A phaser.
I will
They
send
want to
them
give
my dimensions. I will send them my dimensions. They can spill it for me.
Thank you,
Old,
but no thank
big,
you.
Fat. Old, big, and fat. No, not really. Just really chunky.
Chunky monkey.
Chunky monkey.
So, what bike are you on again? Oh, the 07 MT07.
Yamaha 07, MT07. I'm surprised you're not walking away, honestly. We'll see in the
I've
straightaway
been
here.
distracted.
Oh, yeah, it's a walk away. It's a walk away on his part. This thing is winning a duck. I don't think there's a whole lot of miracles I can perform on said bike.
Do you want to explain what makes that bike a duck, the class that it's in compared to the duck, for example?
Yeah, its performance level is not on par with the Ducati. We view the Ducati as probably the standard, the bottom of the standard, or probably like, I wouldn't say the best bike, but the best bottom bike you could probably have. Anything that really doesn't run with that is probably not going to win you many races.
Especially when if you're in a tier above the Ducati. Yeah. What tier is that bike in? What tier is that bike?
This is
heavyweight?
under 700. No, this is under
Oh,
700.
same.
Yeah, it's an 07. It's a 700cc Yamaha.
And we'd describe the Ducati as the middle of the road bike.
Yeah, it's middle of the road.
It's not the fastest in that class. It is on paper,
No.
but it's not actually on the
No.
game.
No, we might bring that bike out of retirement, knock the cobwebs off of it. It's an extremely interesting
Oh, I messed
motorcycle, the
up
Speed
that.
Triple.
I messed that up. Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately for the Speed Triple, and I do like Triumph makes some interesting looking machines, but unfortunately for the Speed Triple, it seems to only really do well in this level. The bigger ones are just, to me, aren't
Garbage.
they kind of fall short in the classes. And in real, this is a game, so we're talking in the game. We're not talking real life. So
Yep. We're not
get on here and
banging manufacturers.
My triple speed is freaking faster than I blew so and so away on the Gigster.
You blew someone
great.
away.
Yeah. No, we're not doing it. This is a game, people. So we're going to get on here and rail bikes. We've already admitted we're fanboys of
Honda. And I'm a
Suzuki.
Gixxer fanboy.
But we'll come right up and admit when something in this game performs better.
If Suzuki said
honestly,
to me today,
Honda is the most disappointing team in this class, in all classes. Every one of them. I buy
it doesn't
one thinking,
outshine
this is it.
anything. It's just middle of the road, subpar.
Yep. If you got lucky, you could win a race.
And we would argue that, the real deal, the real bike, handles, the way Honda has engineered them, in my understanding, is to corner better than other bikes. It's not meant to out-accelerate anyone. It's meant to maintain speed through the corner and go through the corner faster than anybody else and win the race on that merit of getting around the corner faster.
Well, as you can see in this, even this game here, running through the turns aren't going to win you a race when you have two long straightaways. Turns is not going to win you the race.
Where is he? I can't see him.
Unless you are very exceptional. Yeah,
But this makes no
once again,
sense.
we'd preface this with, if we had the same bike, we're pretty much neck and neck. There really isn't a whole lot of difference.
We could demonstrate that. We should do that next.
Yeah.
You want to hop on a duck?
About, yeah, we could duck on duck.
Yeah, get some hot duck on duck action. Woohoo!
Hot duck on duck. Ducks.
Ducks Unlimited.
Unless there are a few bikes that one of us is better than other. I know in the Gigster class, when he's running the 600, he seems to do a little better than I on the 600.
I do have more seat time on that than him, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
There's a difference. There's a difference there.
Well, I spread my seat around. I'm a whore for hire. I'm cheap and easy.
All right, let's look. The Ducati came in 9 seconds faster
Wow.
than a bike above its tier.
So if you're
Duck
the Yamaha
two.
guy, I've got to buy the MT-07 because that is awesome.
Yeah,
I have
no.
it in the driveway. Yeah, it's not going to help you in the game.
Enjoy putzing around on it, looking at it, admiring it, customizing it.
It'll give you plenty of time to look around the track and look at the details of the track. That's always interesting when you're getting beat hard. Hard down.
The Metzler tire signs, the Champion spark plug signs. You'll notice all of these things.
Look at all yes, as you're riding in 11th place on very easy. Going, why?
All right. Hot
Maybe
duck
the
on
gear
duck
will
action.
change it. No. Hot duck
No,
on duck.
not enough. Not enough. And that's
Super
another
hot
thing.
Duck on duck.
The gearing, I'm glad they put it in. It does add, again, more variety to the game and gives you some chances to maybe make up for some shortcomings on bikes that are just subpar but not horrible. But I don't think...
I've made some seconds up with adjustments.
I don't think adjusting the final drive on the bike, which is the large... We figured this out. It's the large... it's the rear sprocket is what they're talking about with the final drive. Or they're talking about the difference between the front sprocket and the rear sprocket combined, i.e. if they went up a sprocket in the rear and down one in the front, that should give you more acceleration and less top end. That is the final drive ratio.
I don't think we've ever found a point where you've hit that the whole way down and the bike has been screaming either.
I have found it.
I haven't really. I mean, to me, if you adjust them all sliders down to 1, that thing should be off the line like a rock.
But it doesn't.
A rocket, and then it should scream before you hit the turn. And it doesn't do that.
Sixth gear, you should be maxed out at like 90 miles an hour going whee!
Yeah.
But no.
It doesn't. We don't find that to happen.
We're not saying...
And it doesn't change the top speed if you go the other way.
It's only the final drive that affects the overall speed of the bike, not the individual gears. The individual gears don't change it too much.
Yeah.
The 6th gear, you can set it to 1.
Wrong.
You can set it to 1, and you can, shorten the top end of that gear. But it's not really the rest of it is not.
I found the individual gears adjustment to be more useful than the final drive ratio.
You got a much better start there.
I used your technique. Thank you.
So you can see that we have different styles of riding with this, but he tends to go a lot wider. I'm a little more
technical. No, that's
technical.
me fucking up. I'm sorry. That's me fucking up, dude. That ain't me going wide. That's me not being where I'm supposed to be. Trust me, it'll tighten up. That is definitely not where to ride at.
starting to follow your line.
Ooh, shouldn't follow that line.
I didn't. That's
I
why.
cut it way too much.
Don't worry. He's
Yeah.
pushing. He's pushing. He's pushing.
I want distance. I want to cushion for the end, but it ain't gonna happen. I tend to find the very edge of everything and ride it, and a lot of times I pay it. That's
was a
a
payment.
style that you.
But you
really
could see
have to
up
be
until
sure of.
that point, we were. He's not even that far off from my bumper right now.
No, I'm really good in
There
this
he is.
section. I don't want to beat my own drum, but I'm pretty good in that section. That's probably the better part of when this chicane's not hearing us back.
Oh yeah.
where I'm screwing that up. But I'm busy screwing that up.
Whee! So we have the same gearing, same suspension. No advantage to either one player. Both fully tuned up. The only thing that's different is where I choose to steer in, where I brake, where I gas from him. So you see that these two bikes, with the two of us, it's pretty much a neck and neck kind of a deal. And we might get kind of competitive and wreck ourselves out trying to
Wreck the other guy.
trying to overtake the other one. I know I almost lost it trying to catch you back there.
I'm hoping.
Now I'm just trying to maintain my lead.
That's gonna be tough. Oh, fucking ass.
I'm
This thing
sorry.
always lets me down. I reeled your butt in there and I totally overrode the bike again.
You were following my line on that one, weren't you?
No, I was not. I was trying to overtake. I was overriding it.
Oh, you pushed through the turn now.
Oh, you know me. I love pushing through a turn.
Did you push
That's where I make a lot of time up.
Did you push their stuff in deep?
It's packed. They're ready to go.
Have you ever had your stuff pushed in?
Stuff.
I've had my stuff pushed in real deep.
Pushed in and pulled back out.
That's a Training Day movie reference. I'm not speaking personally.
Let's see if I can reel you in again.
Yeah. You want me to just sit here on the starting line waiting for you?
Yeah, would you?
No.
I'll tell you when I'm coming around.
You're right there. You're right there. You're not even that far away.
I'd like to be a little closer.
For those of you wondering, when I'm looking backwards and you can't see Mike, all you gotta do is look in the left-hand lower tab there and you can see his little white dot.
The sneaky little white dot.
Yeah, and if I were to back off too much,
I
I would be seeing that white dot a lot closer.
Really quickly.
I think I might, just so people can get a better idea. I'll back off here a little bit. Oh, nope, you're still not close enough. Come on. There he is. Alright, I'm back on. He's might get me right there.
It's too late. Your epic failure. Oh, what the heck? Holy glitch. The Matrix is real.
Is it?
Every time I get behind you, I override it. I ride such a great line until I get behind you, and then I just make it look bad. Man,
Let's see that in an instant replay.
Yeah, I gotta follow you out there too, like an idiot. Oh, I'm gonna take it wide with them.
Not your
Well,
style.
I don't want to win. I would stick with the run this one again, and I am not going to run like that.
But the point is,
I will.
It's on the same bike. It's 2 seconds. That's not one Mississippi, two Mississippi. It's not significant.
It's not really that. There's a penalty stuck on that. And
oh, what was your penalty?
I couldn't have done anything. It was over a second.
So that's it right there then. That's the 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I'm saying if I'm not screwing up and wrecking twice, It's a lot tighter. It's almost even. My point is we're even.
Yeah, one
As
time
long
you
as I'm
might,
not doing
one time I
stupid.
might beat you, one time I might beat you,
Yeah.
one time I might beat you.
You might beat me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
vice versa.
Here, let me get the 1290 out. Let's see what goes on.
What's the 1290?
Oh, I don't know. The hammer. My favorite bike in the game.
Duke? The Duke?
Might not be the fastest bike, but it's my favorite bike.
Oh, I can't.
You know, I haven't run that on this
I
track.
can't ride that bike as well as you. That would be a really good point.
Well,
That would show a difference in style, and how the two bikes have totally different styles.
style point. I'd be going for style points.
Can you see the on-air stuff, or is that just me who sees that? I know they don't see it.
That's just you. That's just you. I got nothing.
We got some
Nothing.
people.
Forgive us. We got growing pains. We're trying to
Figure
get this
this
thing off
out.
the ground. Yeah. We're fly-by-wire. Probably
you.
not the cleanest thing in
Thank-
the world, but
Do you want me to run the duck again? Is that what you want?
I don't. It doesn't matter. We're really not giving duck awards out very well.
I'm gonna run the.
I give myself a duck.
I'm
I give
riding the
myself
duck.
a duck award.
I'm riding
You're
a
gonna
duck.
ride the duck.
I'm stuck
You know
on
what?
a
I'll
duck.
pick another bike. I'm gonna pick another bike in that class because you don't own all the bikes in that class, and
That's why I was saying, yeah.
we'll be surprised because I think there's at least one or two bikes left. Hopefully, we haven't bored everybody to death.
Here's another complaint. These really long loading screens, they give you 4 panels to look at.
Wow, yeah.
And it's the same information time after time. If they could load different
Give me
panels,
something interesting,
or give me even a cheesy menu with different things to look at.
It's gonna be duck on duck again.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I'm gonna complain that the choice menu's a little slow, or that the menus are a little slow and they don't give you a lot of time.
They move
of
fast.
all the things.
It moves fast.
Yeah, you have to. If you want to adjust anything on your bike, you better have it preloaded.
Yeah, you go to the data and you can save your suspension.
You better preload your data because you're pretty much don't have time to adjust everything. You better figure that out offline because you don't have time to do it online.
Oh no, you go to the custom and then you do your little time trials in there and figure out what's gonna run you the best. Either you do like a overall profile, a general profile kind of a thing, or you set it up track by track. Which we're not doing here, again, to clarify. We could probably make the bikes handle a little bit better.
Stock.
But, no.
Yeah,
Ride your line!
I mean, we could infinitely be adjusting that and really not much reason to. Your mileage may vary. I mean, you might really be one of those guys that your style really lends to a certain adjustment, and you're just that much better, and that's great. I mean, be that guy, find that adjustment.
And we've noticed he does better with like a looser setup, and I tend to do better with the precision handling setup. Again, that goes back to talking about how every rider has their own style based on how they pick their own lines.
Mm-hmm. And every bike has a style, I think, too.
Oh yeah, it has a way it wants you to ride it.
I mean, I know if I get on one bike and it's the, like the KTM, the 1290R, and I ride that for, I don't know, 20 laps, and then pick up something nimble, say a triple speed, they're pretty nimble. It takes some adjustment. Oh, come on. What the heck? This game. I always drop in bikes. I could go offline. I could run this track for an hour straight and not drop a bike. I get on here with him, I'm dropping bikes left and right. It's ridiculous.
My
I think the game
penis is
hates
bigger.
me. It must be my Yamaha. It's my Yamaha components. I know it is.
Yeah, yeah. They did some inline game editing there.
Yeah,
And
they
put
really hate me.
They put an oil patch.
I'll show you, Yamaha.
We'll put an oil slick right under his tire on the hairpin here.
All right, maybe that's it. He's got an oil slick mod on his bike, and he drops it when I get behind him.
Shh, shh, shh. Nobody tell him.
Yeah,
Every time I hit that rear camera, it just automatically drops oil all over the track.
probably. I don't. Yeah, I'm lost. And he definitely has a better line this round. I don't have any.
Oh,
I
and
don't
you
have
could
as good
see
a
though, it
chance to
was a
catch him.
really good. It was a really close match on the last one. Again, like we said, some I win, some he'll win on the same bike, but generally speaking, we do tend to run the same, or very. I shouldn't say the same. I should say extremely close and similar lap times. So it's not not necessarily crazy better.
See if I can not drop my bike this time. That would be great.
Or, you know, say I drop mine up here, that would probably really help you out a lot.
That would be helpful.
But see, look,
You wouldn't hear any
there he
complaints.
is. There he is. He's back. It's weird, too, because you'll drop the bike and then you'll just kind of be gone for a while. And then...
Yeah, I don't know if there's a catch-up or system in here or not.
I think there is. I think for the online, I think there is a catch-up. It's a good question.
I haven't seen it, but I don't know. I normally don't load the game. That's usually you're the host.
But that would be nice, wouldn't it? Considering some of these bikes are really shitty.
Yeah, at times, but you know, sometimes a little realism, goes a long way for me.
Oh, that's not good.
If I'm riding a crappy bike, I should get a crappy time. I shouldn't be rewarded. I shouldn't get a trophy for sucking.
Congratulations, you suck.
Yes, the you suck trophy.
There, so now you got a penalty and a drop. I think it would have been if you had managed not to do that. If you had managed not to do
keep
it,
the bike upright.
I think it would be pretty close.
I ran that Ducati all that time when you were running them other bikes and I didn't drop it. And then when we get into this, I freaking drop it every race. It's crazy. But it could be a function of me pushing the bike.
All right, you had a bike you wanted to
Trying to pass him.
to look at?
Oh, yeah, I have bikes. Maybe I can pick one to beat your butt.
Bikes. Do
tired
I
of looking at
ever
your
have
butt.
bikes?
Oh, do I have bikes? I don't have any of the high-end stuff yet, but that's because I put a lot of my money. Let's see if I can remember to change bikes this time.
I don't know. Can you?
I don't know. I'm not very bright. I don't know, though. All the losing I've been doing with the... I'd like to win one. It'd feel good. If I could win one on the Ducati. Let's see here. Oh, I forgot about that little gym. I'm sure you don't have it, so I'm going to have to ride it. Okay, so I've got an Augusta Brutale 675. I can't really rightly remember right offhand. I'm going to have to give you riding impressions as I'm driving, I guess. I know in the upper class, it's one of my favorite bikes. I do enjoy it. I believe it's the, is it an 800? 700? There's so many bikes, it's really hard, unless you're a super bike aficionado, to remember everything. You know, a lot of these Italian bikes, honestly, you don't really get to see them where I'm from. They're there are some Ducati dealers and whatnot in the area, but you know, Augusta, Moto Grizz, any of that, I have really not seen many. I guess that's Gizzy, not Grizz, but yeah, I grew up on Japanese bikes, so.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you very much.
Second, would you like a passe walk?
Welcome to Shitty Walk.
You chopped down my shitty wall.
Whereas, I won't say my dad didn't have any jet bikes. He had Cowies, but
I think
he was more into
starts out
he was more into the Italians like Ducati and Moto Guzzi and stuff like that. And so oh, you.
Oh, good for
you.
You
Monkey fucker.
You deserve it. Oh, it's my fault. That's my line.
Ride your own line. Ride your own line.
I was in front. It's my line.
You were not in front.
We're having a my line fight, and right there it is.
God, these must be awfully close.
I'm really close. Except I just blew it.
Did you wipe that turn again?
Oh, God.
No, you didn't.
I didn't wipe it. I went super wide and give you everything you needed to get ahead of me. But I don't think it's going to help you, honestly. This bike's a little much for that bike. I just have to get my crap wired together. What do? I follow you wide through that like a dummy. I gotta stop following you. It's a major problem with a lot of you guys. If you have my problems where you're following the guy in front of you, you need to learn to stop.
Tunnel vision.
Yeah, you need to stop. You need to look ahead of the track. You need to watch the track. That's my advice. You need to see where you're going, not where he's going. Don't worry about him. It's easy to do, though.
That is also a true reality. I like this about the game. A true reality with real motorcycles. If you're watching the bike in front of you and not the road, you're going to be that guy who gets target fixated on the edge of the road, and you're going to crash. You're going to go right off the road into the fucking gravel, and oop, there you go. I can't speak from experience on that particular phenomenon, but I have target locked before.
I have,
but I haven't had an accident
on things,
because
but I have
of it.
recovered. Yeah, I have recovered. It's
because you knew what you were doing, right? You knew what was happening.
I was on a ride, and you get in a group of people. It's easy to forget what you're doing, and when a turn comes up that you're not ready for, it's easy to overshoot. I couldn't have rode that line out any further on that road. I was at the edge. Why does this thing go so wide? I bet you I don't have I bet you this thing isn't upgraded. I know it isn't. It's not holding the turn at all. It should have held that turn. You shouldn't even have been able to get me. It's pushing out way hard, too hard. Like that thing is pushing right there.
That's because I changed my lean angle. That happens on real bikes too. Change your lean angle, you might not get a lean angle. If you go out, you might not get it back.
I'm gonna go out on the limb and say this is a bike I have not upgraded because it is really hard on when I'm pushing it. It's really hard to control. And usually when you upgrade them, they're a little bit of joy to ride. Yeah, this thing has control issues. I just can't stick it where it belongs. Ooh, good try.
You saw that?
I seen you. Yeah, I seen you come around. It's, in the game when you're playing very easy, the outside pass is very easy. But when you're playing somebody, that might be one of the hardest passes in the game. You really
gotta have
carry
the
some
advantage.
momentum.
Yeah.
You really got to be sure about where you're going.
I was close with that one.
Yeah, you were really close. I was just lucky enough to have enough power on that.
I wouldn't have expected that from the duck. I got in front of you, and now you're in front. I think, in fairness to the game, this usually doesn't happen. I think it's happening only because I'm streaming to YouTube at the same time. And I have.
Oh, yeah. This game plays really well most of the time when we're not streaming. We have always had. I mean, if you have a buddy like, hey, it's $10.
That was almost duck worthy.
See, that bike's not upgraded.
Because there was a second and a half behind you, and you should have walked away on the Augusta. Is that the 800?
No.
What was that one? 12?
No, the 800 is. No, that's a 6.
6? Oh yeah. Still should have been ahead.
Yeah, you have to forgive us. Personally, not run this class in a while, so once again, not one of these bikes.
I have to yell at somebody.
I'll have to look again.
Can you not
I think
stream that?
Personally, is the best for comparison. Although I make it look terrible by dropping the bike over and over again.
The duck?
No, I was saying this track we're using is the best for comparison purposes.
Oh yeah.
It's a little bit of everything, but it's not too much. We were using this version with the chicane, the Grand Prix, and it was just there's too much of a variable there. It's too easy to miss the.
Oh, I'm gonna run the Street Fighter, which is in the exact same class as the duck.
You all right? I don't.
It has.
I think there is
almost 40 more. I think it has almost 40 more horsepower though.
Yeah. Oh, it's a brutal. It's 675, and I forgot to change my bike, so it'll be another run with this bike. Well, you might have to cut out for a little bit, and I might have to go out and upgrade this one a little bit.
Mouth engaged.
So close to the duck. Yeah, I since this thing is so similar to the duck with what's on it right now, we can probably go ahead and call it a duck, right? Call it a duck for duck purposes. I wouldn't give it a duck award just because it's not upgraded, which means it probably has a few seconds more to give. Quite a few. I found on average 12 seconds, a 12-second gain on most bikes in this class with the upgrades, give or take, depending on the bike.
Yeah, I apologize. I can't. There's a comment there, but I can't look at it. Maybe I can online or something. I don't know.
Somebody's actually watching.
Somebody was.
You old farts, stop racing. Nobody cares. You're horrible.
Your voices are horrible. You're a squeaker, Nightwolf.
You guys are terrible at this game. I could kill both of you. That's great. It's a game. We don't. You're gonna have to ask me if I care if somebody beats me in a game. I get more agitated with myself when I.
Oh, there I went.
Yeah, I see.
Come on, dog. Quit licking my foot.
I don't care if I lose, but like if I make a bunch of mistakes and I'm doing it to myself, that's more aggravating to me. But that's a personal thing. I'm happy for all of you. I'm sure a lot of you could beat both of us easily in this game. We're not
professional video game players.
No.
Ah! I hit your back tire. Did you get a little? Did you get a little boost?
Yeah, I did.
Did you find the turbo?
There's a turbo button on this one. Something tells me I'm not going to be able to get away from you.
If I keep riding like I've been.
Well, I'm just saying I don't think I'm gonna walk away.
I don't think that.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's.
Well, here's another example. So this bike is in the duck class. The bike you're on
It's duck class.
is duck class, but the duck and that are pretty neck and neck, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Now this bike, I think, maybe not be the quickest through the turns. It may not even handle the turns as well as the duck does. But when you get on that straightaway, it's got. I think I come a lot closer to catching you.
I believe it.
I think that was a penalty for touching the grass, but
You can't touch the grass.
what makes the grass grow? Blood, blood, blood. Whee!
Oh yeah, apparently a little quicker. Oh yeah, definitely more bike than I'm on. So basically, his screw-ups have left me out in front for a little while, but
Inevitably,
inevitably
the
better
horsepower,
bike
the horsepower shines through in the straightaway.
will. Yeah,
If no,
the horsepower always.
this is a dynamic worth mentioning. There are tracks in this game that you never really ever hit sixth gear. So we're not saying that these bikes that are way slower might not have advantages over the other ones. You know, one might turn in a whole lot better, so it might actually be the better candidate or the better choice on a particular track, whereas this one might do really well on this track.
True.
Ooh, I kicked out that back end just for you. I wanted some style points.
Style points awarded.
Cha-ching! There's a
I'll
few
tell you
more.
one thing: that bike is definitely not the bike in the turns.
No, you close in them, don't you? It's the straightaways where it takes you.
Oh yeah, I can't. I don't have enough speed.
Like I said, this thing does not go through the turns, even as well as the duck will. And it's the same class. Nuance. What? He beat me? Oh no. Ah. I rode in the grass. I thought I was on a dirt bike. I thought this was motocross. This is not motocross? Well, considering we've been broadcasting an hour and 20 minutes, I suppose that's pretty much a good portion of information. I can't think of anything else as far as the beginner classes to really talk about. Mike, I think, has his mic muted. Mike's mic.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Where can we find said videos?
Oh, we will find them. Yes, Mr. Blue.
Is it already streamed to YouTube?
It should be. Mr. Blue JK at YouTube. That's where it all should be. Mr. Blue JK4. I believe is where you will find all of that.
JK4?
Mm-hmm. Are you checking? Are you checking?
I'm looking. I'm seeing if it's there. Oh, there it is. Live broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, there's a lot of live broadcasts. I guess I'll check to see the content. Boy, there's a lot of live broadcasts.
I hear you. Hmm.
I guess I'll check to see the content.
I guess you will.
Live broadcasts. I hear you. You're 4 minutes behind. So it doesn't. When we're done, it's. So we're apparently not done.
No, we're still streaming right now. I think I will end it and see if it stays. Some of them, yeah. Anyway, here we go.
That'll be good. I need a potty break.
Oh, look, I can. Somebody's watching. I think it's you.
Yeah,
Thank
it's me.
you, viewer.
Hello.
Thank you, viewer.
You're the best viewer ever.
All right, we'll talk to you guys next time.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna go potty.
Volume up. Volume up. Volume up.